Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today because I just pulled over to shoot this video and I was appalled at something that I witnessed today. And I went to a foreclosure auction, and my buddy Doug was conducting the auction for some high-end properties today, and what an absolute disaster. So the real estate scams, they're running wild, guys. They're more prevalent than ever. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join our email list. But man, oh man, let's get into this. When you go out and buy a house and you go through a conventional bank, okay, you fill out a loan application, you give your W-2s, or if you're self-employed, your tax returns, and you give them all the pertinent information so that you can get the loan, okay? It's just that simple. When you deal with higher end properties, what happens is that you have to generally deal with a private lender. Now I'm talking about like $2 million and above, okay? Well, what I witnessed today is something that's been ongoing for a few months now, and that in June, when we shot the Real Estate Foreclosure Pro course, we saw some properties that were really high end that were going to foreclosure. And as I started researching this with my buddy Doug, one thing that we caught was that some of these properties were owned by the same guy. So, oh, this guy must have fallen on hard times, okay? So they had opening bids that were outrageously high, outrageous, 2.1 million, 2.2, things like that. And they kept getting postponed, 2 weeks here, a week there. And I'm like, oh, did the guy file bankruptcy? What happened? Well, because it wasn't a conventional lender, you can give story time. You can sit there and say, hey, listen, I need another 2 weeks. I've got this, I've got a buyer. The realtor says he's got an offer. And you can tell stories to the bank, okay? And it can postpone it a week, 2 weeks. 1 week, it was Monday to Friday. And then on Friday, it got postponed another 2 weeks. And crazy stuff like that, okay? Now, these two properties, one was in North Tustin in the county area, one is in the Villa Park area. Nice, really, really beautiful, stunning homes, okay? The house in North Tustin had a Zillow comp on it of $5.5 million, and it was beautiful. 7,000 square foot house, and I'm like, wow, that's huge. Well, no, the house was 5,000 square feet, the 5,000 plus. The guest house in back was 1,500 square feet. Guys, there's houses that aren't that big. So the guest house in the back, and it was 0.67 acres. It was 3/4 of, 2/3 of an acre. Huge property, beautiful, pool, lawn, just stunning. Parking for 9 cars, just absolutely, it's like, wow, this is one of the nicest houses I've ever seen, okay? And, but not like a castle, not like crazy stuff you see online. But just, wow, that would be the coolest house. So, okay. Doug tells me, my buddy that's who runs the foreclosure auction, he says, yeah, there's something weird with that house in North Tustin. And I said, well, what's that? He said, well, it looks like there's more money owed on it than the bank originally thought. Well, how is that? Is there a second trust deed? Okay, well, postponed again, postponed again. When Doug went to the auction, we found out that there were 3 trust deeds, okay? Wow, there's 3 different mortgages on this house. So this guy would go out and he borrowed money, and he didn't go through a conventional bank. He did it on his own and went through these private lenders, okay? Now, they raised the minimum bid for this auction. It was finally gonna go today. Today's the day this house is gonna go to auction to just over $3 million. And I'm there, and there's a lot of people there, angry, furious, steaming, okay? And what's the story? Hey, how's it going? And the one guy recognized, hey, Dan, yeah, anyways. What happened was, then this is the sick part about this, was that this degenerate that owned this house went out and would go to his church, and he would say, listen, do you want to invest in high-end real estate? Put money down. I saw a woman and her son who had put $450,000 into this house, $450K. of her own savings, thinking that she was the second trustee, and she was the fourth. Okay? So this auction, as it was proceeding, was done, was finished. And she's sitting there, and before the auction was even done, she left, knowing, I'm never getting my money back. I have been robbed. I have been stolen from. Now, there were other people there that were involved with this guy. And again, this guy would go to his church and would pitch, hey, we're going to, I've got the ultimate real estate deals for you. And these people never did, a property profile. They never did, never went to, got mortgage insurance, never did title company, title insurance, never did anything like that would have cleared this nightmare up for these people. Now, from what we can tell right now, there could be 8 people that think that they own that house. Hey, listen, I'm the second. He told some of these people, I saw a woman holding paperwork that said she had a $250,000 mortgage that was never recorded. Hey, listen, don't record that mortgage on the house, because we're going to, when we sell it and flip this thing, then you put it on and then we pay you out and you make your double your money, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So this guy would just go to people and rip them off over and over and over again. The worst part is that this guy did this on multiple properties. Okay? And these people that were there, I mean, they were just fuming, beside themselves. Oh my God, it's like, I didn't film any of this, guys, okay? Because this was people losing their life savings, people sitting there contemplating, what the heck am I going to do, because I have no money now and I've given it to this criminal. Now, this will be an episode of American Greed. This guy will be on American Greed someday because of how bad it was. One of the houses did not sell. It went back to the bank. So all these people that are standing there, what's that mean? Well, it means you're screwed. It means the first trust deed is all they have to worry about, and it's going back to the bank. Okay? So, unbelievable. Unbelievable. The second house, the bidding opened up at $2.1 million. Now, again, crowd dwindles out. There's still 4 separate people holding paperwork thinking, I've got the second. None of them know anything. Okay? The house sold for $2.5 million. Most likely, the first mortgage on this house was $2 million. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that awful? Okay? So somebody may get some money on the back end, because what happens was, this is one thing that a lot of people don't understand. Let's say you own a house. Let's just use round numbers. You owe $200,000 in the house, and it goes to foreclosure. And that's the only loan against the place, and the place goes to auction and sells for $400,000. That additional 200 grand is yours. The bank holds that. Most people don't even know that, okay? But the problem with it is that you have to request it from the bank. They're not going to go, hey, listen, Dan, here's your 200 grand. No, you have to do that, okay? Remember this story, because this plays a part in something else I'm going to tell you. So these poor people were just fleeced by this guy and ripped off by this guy. But if they would have gone to a regular bank and gotten a regular loan, this house has got 5 mortgages on it that we know of, okay? Isn't that nuts? Isn't that insane about that? Now, okay, it's awful. And to see these people just distraught sitting there, and I'm like, wow, man, oh man, these people really lost everything today. Absolutely lost everything today. And but the worst part is they don't know who's in first, who's on first, who's on second. The bank, because they went through a private lender, the foreclosure proceedings cost a fortune. Cost a fortune. The lawyers made like $20,000 on each house. It was nuts, nuts. But all these people, these poor people, got nothing. Okay. Now, Michael Lembeck is my go-to guy here in Southern California for, any property that's got more than one unit. Duplexes, fourplexes, anything like that. For 4 consecutive quarters here in Southern California, the multi-unit loans have gone to more and more defaults. Okay? It's increasing right now. But hey, Dan, foreclosures, the real estate market's great. All the real estate professionals I saw, now, This whole thing was kind of famous today to where you had some real pros that came out to watch this thing that have done this 25, 30 years, and they're just like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. And my buddy Doug is like, have you guys contacted the district attorney? This guy needs to go to jail for this. Yeah, we've already filed a police report. But again, they want your dough. You want your money back. But remember, everything right now is completely upside down. Michael Lembeck has brought this up. People are defaulting on commercial properties. People are defaulting on duplexes, fourplexes, everything. Okay? That's happening right now. Now, final thing, and this goes back to the first story, and this was something that was sent to me, and they said, please, can you talk about this? And I called Doug and I said, you won't believe this. Have you ever rented a storage unit? I'd say 90% of us have. Okay? Well, you know, if you get behind on the storage unit, they call you, hey, Dan, make your payment. You know, we're going to lien the property. We're going to sell it if you don't make the payment. So you got to race in there and make the payment, or they will have an auction. They will notify you and have an auction date. One thing that's happening, and this falls under real estate because it's property as far as I'm concerned. Scammers go out and they rent a storage unit. Big one. Huge storage unit. 10 by 20, 10 by 30, just massive size units, okay? So they go out and they rent these units and load it with boxes of drills and, you know, heavy equipment, electronics, computers, Macintosh, Apple, you know, MacBook Pros, things like that, that you go, holy crap, look what's in this. Must have been a company that went out of business. Well, the problem with it is these auctions get bid up to the moon, okay? They get bid up to the highest possible level. And then the thing about this is that the excess money, what's owed on the unit, let's say the guy hired, you know, he rented a $300 unit a month, doesn't make a second payment, goes to auction, he owes basically 2 months on it. Whatever's left over, just like the foreclosures, is sent to that guy. Now the problem is that what these thieves are doing is they're setting it up and putting in empty boxes, fake boxes, scamming these poor people. Drills, electronics, things that are of serious value, Gucci boxes, Louis Vuitton, all this stuff that makes people go, holy crap, that's probably a purse in that thing, man. That thing's probably worth $6,000 right there, okay? There was a TikTok sent to me where a guy went out and said, hey, wait a sec, calls the cops and films himself calling the police and says, listen, there has been massive fraud and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to combat this. I don't know how to fight it, but I've got to let people know how bad this is because this is happening right now. And they're just ripping these poor people off like that. So I'm telling you guys, if it's too good to be true, it is. But the storage unit scams, think about this. And Doug and I were like, how could you do that? Because, you know, they ask for a driver's license when you buy it. You could go out and you could rent one of those units in basically your company name and have a P.O. box. They send you the check, and these people have just stolen all that money from you. So, unbelievable. You know, these foreclosures, you know, and that's the other thing is if you guys are interested in the foreclosure course, Real Estate Foreclosure Pro, take a look at it, realestateforeclosurepro.com, take a look at that. And, but man, oh man, unbelievable, guys. Absolutely unbelievable with what I witnessed. But the biggest amount of fraud in real estate right now is the high-end properties. Remember after 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, oh, we're not going to have this happen again. People are going to have to qualify for these homes. Well, guys, I mean, I'm telling you, it's really easy to qualify for a $400,000 house compared to a $2 million loan. The problem with it is these private lenders, are they suckers or what, man? Just got taken by this guy. And it is horrible. Now, again, this guy, we think he'll end up on American Greed because it's just so bad. But I had to stop right now and make this video. And that, the other thing with the storage unit is be leery of that stuff. And if you've ever had a storage unit sold, if you've fallen on hard times and your stuff got sold, somebody's holding that money. If it's sold for more than you owed, somebody's holding that money and you're entitled to it. So go get that money back, okay? Please, as always, like the video. Please hit the subscribe button. And If you want to send me anything, hello at iAllegedly, send me as much detail as possible, please. Okay? But man, oh man, I just, with all the real estate professionals, not people that have done it 10 years, 15 years, I'm talking 25, 30-year veterans that have seen things, have all said, this is going to get crazy and it's going to be completely different. But when Michael Lembeck, who I'm telling you, he's got a great newsletter, and he is the guy, the go-to guy for anything that's got more than one door on it, okay? Doesn't sell houses, he sells duplexes and above to apartment buildings. That guy knows that everything is a problem right now, okay? So reach out anytime. I love doing this for you guys. But man, oh man, we're living through history right now, to say the least. We can talk about how bad the economy is, but the scoundrels are out there in full force, guys, okay? Share your thoughts on all this stuff. Let me know what you think. But man, oh man, this is the beginning of craziness like this. Let me know what you guys think. Please like, subscribe, and share this video today.